Be honest with yourself. Look at it. Stop and figure out what it is you want. This is our way of living our fantasy in our reality. Hey guys, it's me, Misha, and I'm back with another book. This time, we're going to do kind of like a good versus evil type of thing. I'm quite sure many of you have heard of J.R. Ward and the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Amazing author, okay? I wish we could be talking about the Black Dagger Brotherhood, but today we're going to talk about her series, The Fallen Angels. And the first book in that series is Covet. So here's a quick summary of what Covet is about. Covet by J.R. Ward. 7 deadly sins, 7 souls to save. This is the first battle between a savior who doesn't believe and a demon with nothing to lose. Redemption isn't a word Jim Heron knows much about. His specialty is revenge, and to him, sin is all relative. But everything changes when he becomes a fallen angel and is charged with saving the souls of 7 people from the 7 deadly sins. And failure is not an option. Vin DiPietro long ago sold his soul to his business, and he's good with that until fate intervenes in the form of a tough-talking, Harley-riding, self-professed savior. And then he meets a woman who will make him question his destiny, his sanity, and his heart. And he has to work with a fallen angel to win her over and redeem his own soul. Okay, so as the summary says, this is the first book where Jim becomes an angel. Okay, he becomes a fallen angel, and he's tasked as the savior of saving 7 souls. And each of these souls has the 7 deadly sins that they're dealing with. So, first of all, this book is just amazing. I love J.R. Ward. She's one of my favorites. And the book lover in me is going to kind of take over a little bit and just talk about the book, and then we'll get into the psychology and how it applies to living your fantasy in your reality. But the book, she has a very, very unique take on explaining how good versus evil and the battle between the heaven and the demons take place. Okay, I don't want to give too much away, but I would love to hear your viewpoint on it. All right, so I think I've told you enough about the book. We're going to jump right into the psychological aspect of it and how a fiction novel can actually help us in our real lives. All right, this is our way of living our fantasy in our reality. There are a lot of things in Covet where most people would probably pick, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And there are quite obvious things that you can kind of take away and apply in your life. But one thing that I think most people don't pick up on, and this is what most people are looking for, a dating coach, a life coach. They go to specific dating apps and sites trying to help them find this because they don't know how to do it for themselves. And that is understanding who you are and what it is you're really looking for. Vin, in this book, is in a relationship that he finds out is not for him. He's not satisfied. He's not happy. And if he had taken the time to evaluate himself, now granted, this is a story, it's a fiction novel, so clearly he's not going to have been able to answer that question for himself, otherwise there wouldn't be a story. But in real life, helping us to achieve our fantasy, we want to take the time to sit down and know what it is we want and know who we are. If we don't take the time and analyze our lives and find out what it is we want, what it is we don't want, what it is we like and dislike, okay, then how can we expect a a potential dating partner or a significant other to know those things. That's one of those things where, or that's one of those issues in a relationship that develop baggage. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, you shouldn't have baggage when you go into a relationship, but they don't know how to stop that baggage. Now, again, quick disclaimer, I am not a counselor. I am not any type of psychologist. I have studied psychology, but I am not a psychologist. This is just based off of what I've learned in my life, okay? This is something I've told my girls, I've told friends, I've told a few people throughout my life. Stop and figure out what it is you want. Make a list. Every time you go through a breakup, every time you go into a relationship or come out of one, create yourself a list. Everything that you want in a relationship, everything that you want in a potential partner. Then go back and analyze that sheet, that list. Once you analyze it and you're comparing it, be honest with yourself. Look at it and say, you know what? Number 52, I really couldn't handle, but 24, I'm okay with that. I can compromise on this. So then shorten the list. Take 24 off because that's part of something that you can handle, and add 52 to the top of that list of things that you don't want and can't handle. And you will start to learn yourself and be prepared for when that potential partner comes into your life. You're now taking another step on that journey of having less baggage and living that fantasy that you want in your reality. So my rating for Covet by J.R. Ward would have to be a 4-star. It's definitely a good book. It didn't have that wow factor for me like Counselor did, but I still say it's up there. All right. But J.R. Ward has done so many good series, and I've only gotten into about 3 of hers so far. I'd have to say Fallen Angels is definitely an excellent series to get into, but the book overall was a 4.